Welcome to Shelbrook Speaks Out, where we explore ideas, thoughts, and perspectives purely from our own point of view. Please note that the discussions in this podcast are based on personal opinions and should not be taken as professional advice or factual information. We encourage you to think critically, do your own research, and form your own conclusions. Thanks for tuning in, and let's dive into today's topic. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Shelbrook Speaks Out, your space to learn, grow, and take control of life's challenges. I'm your host, Ben Shelbrook. Today, we're getting into a topic that impacts all of us at one time or another: anger and stress management. In this episode, we'll explore more practical strategies to help you confront your emotions head on, communicate effectively, and ultimately transform stress into strength. Before we dive in, a quick reminder: I'm not a doctor or a medical professional. I'm a guy that lives online producing a podcast from my own perspective. I'm only speaking my mind and giving my point of view. Some of the things I say may help someone out there in podcast land. I truly hope it does. But keep in mind, I'm just another person that walks the same rock as you. With my attempt of laying out some half-legal sounding gibberish out of the way, let's get started. First up, let's explore what anger and stress really are and why they're so important to understand. Anger is a natural emotion, a signal that something in your life isn't aligning with your values or your expectations. It might be triggered by feelings of injustice, frustration, or unmet needs. Stress, on the other hand, is our body's reaction to pressure, whether it comes from work, relationships, or even our own internal thoughts. Think about driving during rush hour. Each honk or near miss builds up tension, and if you let that tension simmer without addressing it, you might end up with a moment of explosive road rage. Similarly, unresolved anger and chronic stress can take a toll on your mental health, relationships, and overall well-being. So why do we let these emotions get the best of us? Often it's because of learned behaviors and our brain's instinctual response to perceived threats. The key is pausing and asking yourself, what is really triggering this feeling, and how can I address it constructively? Addressing these emotions directly can help prevent them from building into something much more damaging. So let's dive into the idea of speaking directly to the person or people who are causing your stress or anger. It's natural to want to vent to friends or colleagues, but channeling your energy toward the source of the problem is far more effective. Imagine you're frustrated because a coworker keeps missing deadlines, affecting the whole team's performance. Instead of complaining about it to others, why not approach that coworker directly? A calm, respectful conversation such as, I've noticed that missed deadlines are causing stress on our projects. Can we talk about what might be going on and find a solution together? That opens the door to understanding and resolution. It's not about blame. It's about clear communication and mutual accountability. Using I statements instead of you accusations can prevent defensiveness. And if emotions are running high, it's perfectly fine to take a moment to cool down before you engage in the conversation. Don't spread your anger around. A common pitfall is spreading your anger to people who are not directly involved. After a heated encounter, it might feel natural to vent to anyone that will listen. But when you share your frustration with people who are not part of the issue, you risk creating unnecessary tension and misunderstanding. For instance, If you're upset with your partner for forgetting an important detail, discussing it repeatedly with friends might lead to gossip and miscommunication. Instead, keep your emotional energy focused on addressing the person directly involved. An effective alternative is journaling. Writing down your feelings can help you process your emotions without burdening your relationships. Or consider engaging in physical activity, like a brisk walk or a quick workout, to help diffuse that pent up energy. If it's something serious, I would not recommend journaling or taking a walk. You need to confront that head on and address it. Don't just let things slide by when they really matter. See, the goal isn't to suppress your feelings, it's to transform them into a catalyst for positive change. Express everything out in the open. One of the most powerful strategies in anger management is to get everything out in the open the first time. When you only partially express your feelings, you leave room for misunderstanding to fester. You need clear, honest communication, and that is the key. Picture a situation where you're upset with a friend over a recurring issue. If you say, "I'm upset," and then you don't explain why, your friend is left guessing what went wrong. Instead, try saying something like, "When you cancel our plans last minute without explaining, I really feel hurt and undervalued." By articulating your feelings clearly from the outset, you create a foundation for real understanding and change. It's important to note that while you should be thorough, you don't need to unload every single irritation at once. Focus on the major issues that impact your well being and let go of minor irritations that don't warrant a full discussion. Keeping your cool and manage your tone and your timing. A crucial component of managing anger is keeping your cool during challenging conversations. It's all too easy to let your voice rise in the heat of the moment, which can derail any attempt at constructive dialogue. Imagine you're in a meeting and your frustration with a colleague is mounting. If you start shouting, the conversation quickly shifts from solving a problem to managing the fallout of raised voices. Instead, maintain a calm, steady tone. When you feel your emotions beginning to overflow, take a brief pause, step away, breathe deeply, and return when you can speak with a clear mind. It's also important to address issues while they're still fresh, but not so immediately that your emotions cloud the discussion. Timing is everything. Striking that balance helps ensure that your concerns are heard and understood without escalating the conflict. Additional techniques for anger and stress management. Outside of direct confrontation and measured communication, there are several other techniques that can help you manage anger and stress more effectively. So let's explore some of those additional strategies. Mindfulness and meditation. Practicing mindfulness helps you stay present and avoid being overwhelmed by negative emotions. Even a few moments of mindful breathing or meditation can reset your emotional state and help you approach a situation with a clearer head. One that I mentioned just a moment ago, journaling. Keeping a journal can be a great way to process your emotions privately. Over time, journaling can help you spot recurring patterns in your anger and stress, offering insights into what changes you might need to make in your life. Another form was physical activity. Exercise is a great outlet for reducing built up tension, whether it's a run, yoga, or just a simple walk. Physical activity can help clear your mind and lower your stress levels. If things kind of progress beyond those, then we have professional support. There is no shame in seeking help. A therapist or a counselor can help provide valuable insight and coping strategies, offering an objective perspective on your emotional challenges. Setting boundaries. Clear boundaries are essential for protecting your emotional well being. Know what behaviors you can accept and communicate those limits calmly and assertively. A conflict resolution mindset. Try to review conflicts as opportunities for growth rather than threats. This mindset shift can turn a potentially explosive situation into a chance to deepen understanding and improve relationships. Remember, combining these strategies with direct communication creates a robust toolkit for handling anger and stress. And if you've got a technique that works for you, send us your suggestion through email or via social media. We're always looking to learn and share new ideas with Shelbrook Speaks Out. Cultivating long-term emotional resilience. Anger and stress can feel like recurring challenges in our lives, waves that come and go. But what if we could build a lasting resilience that not only helps us weather these moments, but also strengthens us over time? I want to explore the idea of cultivating long-term emotional resilience, a holistic approach to managing your inner landscape that goes far beyond the immediate techniques that we've already discussed. Emotional resilience is about creating a foundation for well-being in your daily life. It means developing habits and routines that help you recognize your emotional triggers, reflect on your responses, and adjust your approach to future challenges. One key element is self-care, taking time each day to engage in activities that nourish your mind and your body and your spirit. Whether that's through mindful meditation, a quiet moment with a cup of coffee, or a simple walk outdoors, these moments of pause are essential for resetting your emotional state. Another important aspect is self-compassion. Understand that managing your emotions isn't about perfection. It's about acknowledging your feelings without judgment and giving yourself permission to experience them while learning from each encounter. This ongoing process of self-reflection, it helps you identify patterns in your own behavior and empowers you to choose responses that align with your values. Building resilience also means setting realistic expectations for yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of consistent daily effort. Embrace small positive actions, even if they seem minor at the moment, as they add up over time. This can involve establishing a routine that includes moments of gratitude, regular physical activity, or even creative expression. Each of these practices contributes to a more balanced state of mind. And remember, you're not in this alone. Whether it's through reaching out to trusted friends or joining supportive communities, connecting with others who share similar goals can provide encouragement and new perspectives. The fresh cut on long-term resilience complements our earlier strategies by emphasizing that managing anger and stress is an ongoing journey. Keep building these habits and remember that every effort, no matter how small, contributes to a stronger, more resilient you. So, as we get close to wrapping up today's episode, I want to recap the key takeaways. Speak directly. Always confront the source of your anger or stress directly. This minimizes misunderstandings and prevents negative energy from spreading. Express fully. Get your feelings out in the open the first time. Be honest and clear about what's bothering you. Once a conflict is resolved, avoid rehashing old issues unless new circumstances arise. Maintain your cool. Keep your tone calm and measured. Use pauses, deep breathing, and proper timing to ensure that your message is heard without unnecessary escalation. Utilize additional tools. Incorporate mindfulness, journaling, physical exercise, professional support, and set healthy boundaries to build long-term resilience. Adopt a growth mindset. See conflicts as opportunities to improve your communication and strengthen your relationships. Managing anger and stress is an ongoing journey. Every direct conversation, every mindful breath, and every effort to communicate clearly is a step toward a more balanced life. So that kind of concludes the main portion of this episode. I do want to take a moment. I was going through my analytics for this podcast and looking at geographically where most of my listeners are. I live in North Carolina. A majority of my listeners are in North Carolina. And I just wanted to shout out some of the big people or the big areas that show their support just by listening. So for North Carolina, it's Kings Mountain, Winston-Salem, Charlotte, Clemens, Lexington, and Greensboro. Other mentionable states are Virginia, Massachusetts, Colorado, Tennessee, Pennsylvania. And outside of the United States, there are listeners in the United Kingdom, Russia, Mexico, South Korea, and Australia. If you live in one of those areas, thank you so much for taking the time out just to listen to me talk to a microphone every once in a while. I truly appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to thank you for tuning in to Shelbrook Speaks Out. If you found value in our discussion, please take a moment to like, comment, and share this podcast. Visit our website for additional resources. Check out our merch available through our online store and on TikTok. And feel free to send us your suggestions via email or social media. Your feedback fuels our mission to spread effective communication and emotional empowerment. Until next time, thank you. Well, that's it for today's episode of Shelbrook Speaks Out. A big thanks to Intertwine for providing the music. Be sure to go over and check them out on Spotify. If you've enjoyed the show, head over to benshelbrook.com where you can grab some merch and find other ways to support the podcast. You can also show your support directly by clicking the support button on our website or through Buy Me a Coffee. Links to everything are in the episode description. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next time. This is Ben Shelbrook signing off. Have a great day.